Thanks, guys. Nadia Valentine here on the Blue Oval.
And you have a lot of Drake people here out in the stands and here with you. What does it mean to you to be here and have all those people with you?
And what are you most excited for while watching the Drake relay?
I'm really excited to see all the old Olympians.
So how many times have you been here?
Oh gosh, I've ran the half marathon a few times. I come and watch these. 15 probably.
I'm here with Drake hurdler Sarah Yeager from Macomb, Iowa.
I'm here with Jalen Roberts-Lewis, an outstanding track star from Roosevelt High School.
During the first relays in 1910, just 100 spectators filled the stands watching 82 athletes. Now it's grown into one of the most well-known and respected track and field competitions in the country.
Welcome to the Starting Line, your source for all the information you need for the Drake Relays. I'm Tim Weber.
I'm Leah Thompson.
And I'm Grace Rodgers. We'll be highlighting high school and collegiate athletes, and we'll let you know what races you need to keep an eye on throughout the weekend.
The Drake Relays allow a wide spectrum of runners, jumpers, and throwers to compete. This opportunity gives high school athletes the chance to make their efforts known on the Blue Oval. Victoria Clausen caught up with the Johnston Dragon boys, who hope to take the title with their well-rounded team.
In addition to hosting college athletes and future Olympians, the Drake Relays are a place for high school athletes to compete. Here at Johnston High School, the boys track and field team is practicing for the big meet. The Johnston Dragons started off their season strong with 152 student athletes signing up for track and field this year.
Kids have been a very positive young group, a very talented group, which is good for now, but then also down the line.
Those who have qualified to compete in the Drake Relays will compete against some of the best. While these high school athletes are used to competing against their own division, at relays they will compete against all other qualifiers.
There, nice throw. Nice.
Despite the challenges that relays bring, some Johnston athletes have been looking forward to this event for years.
I've gone to Drake every year since I was 1. My dad's taken me ever since I was a baby, and I haven't missed one. I've always looked forward to running there when I got to high school.
I really want to run the 4x4 under the lights. The Drake lights are it's just a cool experience to be there at night.
Even with added challenges and attention that the relays bring, Coach Mattingly encourages his athletes to have fun.
Just go out and do your best. You are just trying to compete against yourself, but also others. But enjoy the moment. Do the best you can, and no regrets when you get done.
Johnston and other high schools are sure to work hard to be relays ready the final weeks before coming to Drake Stadium. For DBS, I'm Victoria Clausen.
Johnston's top finisher at the Jim Duncan Relays this year was Patrick Bowes, who finished second in the 1600. The Dragons also finished third in the 4x100 meter relay.
Another team across the metro is preparing for their shot at those white flags on the Blue Oval. Marissa DePuno took the short trip to Valley High School to see how their girls are preparing for this year's relays.
Valley High School has a history of track and field.
Valley has had a long tradition in doing some great things in our middle distance. We're now transitioning where our sprints are starting to take off a little bit. We're a very young team this year, and so we have girls that have the desire to do things, but what they lack right now is the experience.
The girls' track team has been getting ready for the relays since the season began, focusing on perfection.
You know, we got to run through the line, and that is a big focus, is making sure that we finish each race, we finish each leg of our relays, make sure that we run through the exchange zones.
We are doing very hard workouts. We're hitting hurdles almost every day, making sure that we're doing different drills, being cognizant of weather, how many days we have to prep and what's going on. We're also checking out the competition, so we're trying to get all aspects of making sure that we're ready for such a great event.
Emily James is a Drake alumni and is now coaching the girls' hurdles. She really gets just as involved as they do.
I always joke with the girls that when they're running, I get just as nervous for their race as if I were running it, so I get the butterflies, I start sweating, feel like a parent almost in the stands cheering and trying to videotape at the same time. But it's awesome getting to continue to live my love of track through my athletes and through their enthusiasm, and when they win or when they're excited, I'm excited.
Some members of the team have been to the relays before.
No, I've been an alternate the past couple of years for the 4x8. From what I've seen, it's really competitive, it's a great team bonding experience, and just really cool to experience.
It's kind of nerve-wracking because you're in a bigger stadium and it doesn't feel like, you feel pressure to do your best, which you obviously are going to do with the adrenaline and everything, and I feel like it's just a great experience to be part of in my track career.
They all agree they couldn't get there without their coaches.
Our coaches are great. They've been alternating distance and mid-distance workouts on the track to build speed and endurance. So they've also been very supportive and giving us a lot of times to work for.
On the other hand, the coaches couldn't be more proud of their girls.
It's also very rewarding to watch the girls set goals for themselves, work toward them, and hopefully achieve them.
Having been a runner in the relays, Coach James knows it's a great experience for the team.
I think it's a great opportunity for high school athletes to be on such a world-renowned track, and I think it's a great opportunity for them to experience a much higher level track meet and to kind of prepare them for meets that they might have in the future, especially if they're continuing with track.
The Valley girls share one simple goal.
I just hope that we can all get better and establish greater times or break records here and hopefully at other events like the districts. I hope we can break our event because I know some of our girls have broken the record there before, so I hope we can achieve that goal again.
And they couldn't be more excited.
I'm just so happy. It's kind of stressful going into it, but once you're done, it's like a feeling of, it's so rewarding.
The girls' head coach believes the relays will be a life-changing experience.
If you're not hooked in track now, if you can qualify for the Drake Relays, you'll love track and field for the rest of your life.
Reporting for DBS, this is Marissa DePino.
The Valley Tigers will have their strongest chance at a victory in the 1600-meter relay. They currently have the 11th best qualifying time in the state with a finish at just under 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
When it comes to individual athletes, Dowling Catholic Maroon Ryan Schweitzer might be the best on the track this weekend. He is a top 10 qualifier in the 3200 meter, a top 5 qualifier in the 400 and 800 meter races, and the top qualifier in the 1600 meter. He currently holds the record at the relays in the 800 meter run, and most recently broke the 1600 meter record at the Jim Duncan 2 weekends ago. One Drake athlete began her running career at the Des Moines Roosevelt while at Roosevelt. Emma Hudson claimed the 1500 meters at the Iowa State track and field meet in 2012.
Since joining the Bulldogs, Hudson has had many top 20 finishes in both track and cross country. This year, she won the 800 meters at the Grandview Invite. Huston also set a school record and personal best in the 5,000 meter run at the Stanford Invitational, giving her a third-place finish. Emma Huston has graciously joined us in the studio today. Grace is with her now.
Thank you, Emma, for joining me. As a senior here at Drake, your time running both track and cross country is coming to a close. What's been your favorite memory so far?
Honestly, it's just kind of the cumulative experiences that I've had. I've gotten go to some cool, pretty cool places, and just getting to know my teammates and working together, working hard every day, and I've really gotten to know them, and we've experienced a lot of things together, so it's cool.
Sure. How do you feel the 2016 season has gone for you all as a team so far?
Pretty good. This is probably the strongest team we've had, definitely in my 4 years at Drake. We've got some top performances, like top 5 in conference, so hopefully this should be one of our biggest years. So.
Excellent. Do you guys have any goals coming out of this season, possibly just for the team for next year?
Yeah, we have a lot of seniors on the team this year, so I think it's going to be kind of a hard transition for next year, so it might be more of a rebuilding year, but definitely just gaining the experience for the underclassmen and building back up.
Sure, and you run both track and cross country, so what are some of the differences and how do you navigate that change?
Well, for cross country, we run in the grass, and it's like 5Ks and 6Ks. And so it's definitely a different atmosphere because there's just hundreds of runners all going on this grassy course. And then track is different because everyone kind of divides up between different events, and we combine with the sprinters and the jumpers and the field events. But it's kind of crazy because we have all of our cross country runners do track too. So we have cross country in the fall, indoor track in the winter, and then outdoor track in the spring. So it's basically a year-round sport. But
yeah, how do you go about transitioning from cross country to track and then picking your track events?
It depends on, I don't know, how you are as a runner. I guess I'm more versatile because I can do 15 and 10K, but Reed Fisher on the team, he's excellent at 10K, and Rob McCann does steeple. He's super good, so everyone kind of has their niche. So
sure. What inspired you most to become a track and field athlete?
I started in my freshman year of high school. I did volleyball for 2 years, and that was not meant to be. But I got involved in track, and my track coach kind of got me involved in cross country and distance events and stuff like that. So.
Awesome. And did you just decide to continue that in college because you loved it, or were there other factors in your decision?
I definitely loved track in high school, and I guess I reached a high enough level my senior year that I was able to continue running in college, and I met with Coach Hostager here at Drake, and we really connected, and I connected with the team, and so I decided to come here. So.
Great. Do you have any advice for people trying to make that decision, or just track runners in general?
I would say patience and persistence for sure, because I know my freshman year was pretty rough, just like the transition from high school to college, and just a totally different coaching style and everything like that. So it's definitely, you have to wait and see the results even years down the road. So.
Awesome. And when can we catch you on the Blue Oval this weekend?
Well, Thursday night is 5K, and hopefully Saturday I will also be in the 15. But
excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, Emma. It was wonderful talking to you, and good luck on your races this weekend. Back to you, Leah and Tim.
Thanks, Grace. We will be sure to look for Emma on the track this weekend.
Another Drake athlete looking to make his mark on the Blue Oval is Reed Fisher, a junior from Minnetonka, Minnesota. Fisher has gotten off to a good start in the indoor season, finishing second in the 5,000 and third in the 3,000 at this year's Missouri Valley Conference Indoor Championships. He also finished in 4th place at the Husker Invitational in the 3,000, setting a personal best. Fisher spoke with us about his experiences running here at Drake.
My name is Reed Fisher. I started running in 8th grade cross country. Didn't do track until sophomore year of high school, but it was something I always kind of knew I wanted to do. I liked the team at first, and then slowly started to love the sport more and more, and now I'm kind of at an equal balance between loving the team and loving the sport. So I think running is a really unique sport in that you get out exactly what you put into it. So if I want to be a really good runner, the best way for me to do that is to go run more. So there's something, I think, uniquely personal about running that a lot of other sports don't get to experience, which is something I really like. So every time you race relays, it's going to be different, and it's going to be unique, and it's going to be special. I've had friends and family come down the last few years to watch me race, so I'm looking forward to that again. And then just getting out there and running, the competition level is always really, really high, so that's always a great part about the atmosphere. I'd like to set the school record. Hopefully it'll be an honest race and we can make everything happen, which would be 1-2 finish for Drake and 1-2 school record for Drake in either order, which is a lofty but attainable goal. It'd be really, really cool if we could get it done.
Kayla Bell has had a long journey toward the top of the podium. One of Drake's finest jumpers, she has endured her share of triumphs and tragedies. During her collegiate career, Michael Lopez chronicled her journey up to this point.
The Drake track and field teams are in their final weeks of preparation for this year's Drake relays. Runners, throwers, and jumpers are all making their final adjustments for their most important event of the season. Many of these athletes have faced challenges in their quest for the podium. For one jumper, this is especially true. From switching sports.
And then I tried out for varsity, and he made us go one-on-one with another girl. And so he ended up picking the other girl. And so I was just infuriated. I was upset, and I said, you know what, I'm done with basketball.
To injuries.
Freshman year, probably 3 weeks into the school year, I broke my toe. And it was a very serious break in my big toe. It was broken in 3 places. I had to have surgery where they put a wire. And I was basically out until December. So I couldn't compete. They didn't allow me to compete until probably February, which is the meet right before the conference meet. And so basically my season was gone. Being a jumper, coming out, trying to improve, it was very difficult. Especially they took me out of long jump to do triple because my foot couldn't take the pounding.
Junior Kayla Bell has seen her fair share of trials, yet this hasn't stopped her from achieving her goals.
And then came out the next day in triple jump, which my PR at that time was 39.5, and the indoor record was still 39.9. And I was still thinking about breaking that, but then I ended up getting a jump in finals, and it was 40 foot 9 and 3/4, and that was winning the conference up until like the last jump.
Bell shows the tenacity of a bulldog and is just one of many Drake athletes who are a testament to what it takes to join the elite at the relays.
I want to win, because when you're in that position, when they announce and say up right now the winner, the current leader in the triple jump, you hear that and you're just like, wow, I was in shock. I never thought I'd be a winner.
For Drake Broadcasting System, this is Michael Lopez.
I am here with Kayla, a senior jumper here at Drake. Kayla, you've had quite the career so far. When did you start jumping?
I didn't start jumping in my lifetime. I started freshman year of high school, just long jumping, and then triple jump my sophomore year. And then here I started triple jumping my freshman year and didn't start long jump until last year.
So tell us a little bit about the difference between long jump and triple jump, because I know that can be confusing for people who aren't avid fans of the sport.
Right, so long jump is really simple. There's a board probably like 8, 10, or 12 feet away from the sand pit, and you just run and then you just jump in the air and try to hold as long as possible. Triple's a little more complex, so there's a board at least 36 feet away from the sand pit, and then you run and then you jump off one leg twice, switch to the opposite leg, then jump into the sand. So.
And how did you get started in each of those?
The cool thing is I saw a girl in high school and she couldn't make it into the pit, and I was a long jumper at this time, and I thought it was just cool. I was like, oh, I want to try that, and then I just ran and I did it and I jumped into the pit, and so ever since then they just kept me in the sport, and I just kept growing from there.
Awesome. So what's your personal record so far, and when did you set it?
For triple jump, my personal record is 41 foot and a half. And I set that last year at Jim Duncan Invitational, and my PR now for long jump is 6 meters, which is 19.8 1/4, which I set yesterday.
Congratulations. Yeah. That's really far, both of those.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah.
What's been your favorite part of participating in track at Drake so far?
The community. Not even, just having a bond with other athletes. The program, you see the progress in your body. It's like an interconnected network of athletes. So I know so many teams, so many different athletes, and just, the accolades just growing as a person and through my own sport. So.
Sure. Does the team have any superstitions, or do you have any personal superstitions about your performance?
I do. So personally, I have to listen to a certain song before I jump. I have to wear my blue socks that have Fearless on the side. I have to have a headband when I jump. I usually wear a blue bracelet that says DU Hold Fast, which is the program for the athletics. And I have to eat something healthy, like chicken and potatoes, like the day before. Any other vegetable, it's just so many such superstitions, but they work.
Yeah, whatever works. You said you have to listen to a song. Is it a certain song?
It is. It's called My Life Is in Your Hands. It's a gospel song, basically just saying to relax. Everything you do is going to be through Him, so you have nothing to stress.
Has that been sort of a personal anthem for you throughout your life, or did you just sort of adopt it when you started jumping, or how'd you come across that?
I went through a really tough time, I want to say about 2 years ago in the summer coming off my sophomore year. Like, performances weren't going where I was wanted, had low self-esteem and things like that. And then I realized just to let go, you know, like everything's not in my control. And once I did that, that's when the performances really started coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's inspired you most as a track and field athlete?
Ooh, what's inspired me? It's not even the distances anymore. You know, I come from a different place than I was 4 years ago. What inspires me is inspiring other people. I don't know if that makes, I hope that makes a lot of sense, but it's the idea that what I'm doing, like working hard, I came from the bottom. Like I was really, you know, I was a walk-on, you know, not with scholarship money, came mediocre jumps, and through hard work and faith, I came to the accolades I have now. And through that inspires me to keep going because I see people behind me now telling me how they want to work hard and they realize everything will come when it needs to come. So, yeah.
So from that journey, what's your best piece of advice for someone like you who is just starting out and starting from the bottom?
Stay the course. Trust the process. Know that there will be bumps, bruises, and rocks in your way, but there will be so much glory on the other side. Just trust yourself. Trust God. If you don't trust God, just trust faith. And just believe anything's possible. You know?
So you have had this incredible journey so far. You're in an entirely different place from where you were when you started at Drake. But were there any goals that you set that you've been able to reach or that have changed since you've started at Drake?
Oh yeah, for sure. So when I was a freshman, I wanted to do long jump, but they didn't allow me to do long jump because I came off an injury. I would say my goal used to be 40 feet. I was like, actually it was 39. I was like, I want to jump 39, break the school record, blah, blah, blah. And then I did that sophomore year, didn't count. So the next year I was like, I want to jump 39 feet. Jump that, then I was like, okay, I want to jump 40 feet. Jump that, and then I was like, I want 41 feet. That was all in 1 year. You know, the goals came. And then indoor, I was like, I want to go, 19 feet. Ended up going 19.6. And so I've hit a lot of the goals I've set. I still have goals now. I want to go 20 feet. I want to go 42 feet. But now, yeah, those are the goals I'm still trying to hit. A lot of the goals, though, are now like non-tangible, just, life goals. I just want to be successful from my own means and not by a number. So.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. And it's so amazing how you kept pushing yourself to go one more foot, even after you've already hit your goal.
Yeah.
I know that you've dealt with some injuries while you've been at Drake. So how have you overcome those, and how's it going now?
It seems like every year I've had an injury. Freshman year, I broke my toe, ended up having surgery. It was broken in 3 places. Came back, had to battle that, and then my sophomore year, I felt fresh, and then the week before conference, I had a cramp in my hamstring and basically had to wear a sleeve. And then, healthy again the next year, then I basically bruised my heel. It comes out, it was like a strained Achilles, jumping on that. And so this year it's like another injury indoor with my knee. And it's just all a minor setback for something greater. That's how I have to look at it, I just came off an injury for my knee, which I thought it was holding me back, but it really wasn't. And so you just have to keep mentally pushing through, knowing that you train so hard for this, a minor knick-knack, as long as I'm not on crutches or a wheelchair, I'm okay.
Sure, and you said it's a mental game to overcome these injuries, but there's also a lot of physicality that goes into it. What's the training process and PT process like for that?
When I had injuries, I was probably in the training room about an hour every day outside of practice, or 2 hours, one before practice, one after. When I had the cramp, right before conference, you're in there a lot more because they have to get it out. So that's outside the mental process. You have to go through that. They taper down your workouts because you can't do the high intensity, which is really frustrating because you want to get where you need to go. And they just try to rest you. Even in the weight training, they try to lower the weight so that way you're not straining your muscles even more. So.
Okay, let's move back to a little bit of a happier topic.
Yeah.
You overcame all of those injuries and have gotten to compete at the Drake Relays before.
Yes.
What's your favorite memory from that?
Oh, my first time ever walking out onto the track. I was very nervous. I was warming up actually on the indoor track next to Olympians, and then I came outside and then I see the crowd of thousands of people just there, and the sun was beautiful, and our runway just seemed so blue at that time. Everyone just seemed elevated. So I'll always remember that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And when do you compete at the relays this year?
I'll be competing this afternoon and then tomorrow morning. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here,
No
Kayla.
problem.
The best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And I'll hand it back to Tim and Leah in the studio.
We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the athletes competing at this year's Drake Relays.
Join us all weekend long for complete coverage of this year's Drake Relays. We will be live at the stadium today until 2:30 p.m. and again tomorrow morning, beginning with another edition of Starting Line at 8:30 a.m.
Hey Leah, where's Grace?
I think I see her beyond the finish line.
Stay tuned to the College Channel for more from the Drake Broadcasting System presentation of the 2016 Drake Relays.